talk about what we spoke about yesterday. My audio was garbled yesterday because it went through a Bluetooth receiver in my car, and it was such an impacted message, and I was like so excited to get that out to you, and I'm like talking like shush and shat and because of the audio, and I'm like, when I listen to the audio, I'm like, oh my God, hopefully you guys were patient enough to work through that audio glitch and get the message. But I'm going to come back to you today and kind of give you the summary about what I talked to yesterday on the ride in. And that's what the key to it was, but are you doing? We all know what we're supposed to do. I mean, pretty much, how you're supposed to eat, how you're supposed to treat your spouse, your children, people in general, how you're supposed to conduct business. We kind of all have an idea, how you're supposed to do your job. But are you doing these things at a level that it's giving back to you and giving back to your people? It's all too easy to go, well, yeah, I know I should quit smoking. Well, you're shitting all over yourself. Either you are or you're not. I guess that's what the gist of it was yesterday, and it flowed so perfectly. I don't know if it's flowing the same today, but I want to get that message out to you that you've got to take that action. You can know it here all you want, but if your feet aren't moving and your hands aren't creating, you're not changing anything for the better. How many people do we know that have sat in school for 10, 12 years of post-education, post-high school education, and, they're living under a bridge or they're paying off student loans and anything else, and you wonder and you go, hey, is that living? Is that living at your full potential? And then you got the people that have been absolutely dumped on as children and had horrible childhoods and grew up in a hood and grew up in, the worst conditions possible with no leadership roles. And they're out doing amazing things in businesses and communities, and they have great relationships. A lot of times people say, well, kids are a direct reflection of how they're brought up. If they were brought up in a broken home, chances are they're going to get divorced. If they were in a cheat eat, if they were, their parents were drug addicts, they're going to be drug addicts. If their parents were successful, they're going to be successful. Look at Hollywood. How many kids of these movie stars and these super wealthy people are on drugs and living under bridges and going to jail left, right, and center? Then you got the local doctor in your area who was born in the wrong neighborhood, didn't have any dad at home, didn't have any leadership, was stuck in a gang as a kid and, breaks out of that and gets an education, is an amazing doctor making breakthroughs and helping humanity and helping people and serving, or becomes a police officer, and you go, well, that doesn't make sense because they should have. It's the same thing as genetics. Everybody gets into that mode of, my father had his gallbladder out, I'm going to have mine out. Why? Maybe you eat differently than your father. Maybe your father had a disorder or something else. This is what I'm talking about. We all know what we should do, but are you doing? Are you actually taking action? That's what I want to get through to you guys. And watch yesterday's video, because it was, I don't quite feel that I'm delivering the same message because it flowed, but just, my S's are SH's because it came through the Bluetooth like that instead of saying I was saying, and it was frosty around the edges. Put it that I really want to share with you guys. And it's just amazing to me that so many intelligent people with so much information available today are not taking action. That's what I want to get you to do. It is better to take imperfect action and learn and grow and hone your skills or your trade or your idea, or you sit there and draw it out on paper for 10 years, die, and nobody ever does anything. Nobody ever benefited from that. Like Les Brown says, there's a lot of great ideas in the graveyard, but learn from them. Let me ask you one more question as we're tooling along this morning. Have you ever had a time in life that seemed like it was an ever-living hell, or you were really going through it, and you just, oh my God, and it shaped your entire future, and you took action because that I'm never gonna, maybe it was an abusive relationship, and now, 10, 15, 20 years later, you're in the most amazing relationship in the world instead of a mediocre one. Why? Because you learned not to settle, and you took action, and you said, you know what, I'm never going to go through that again. But instead of saying all men are bad or all women are bad or whatever, you set a higher standard. Now, the cool thing that happens when you set a higher standard for yourself, you got to take action or else you're not living up to your standard. So standards would be the motivator, right? That's the thing to pull you. When you set a higher standard, you're no longer going to settle for, I'll get to it tomorrow. I'll start to go, you know what, I'm going to do it right now. I might not do it exactly perfect. Hey, it's February and there's one in June I want to run. You're not going to start training June 1st. Training, if you've never really run before, you're totally deconditioned. Run. Never going to run a marathon. A bit and a piece at a time. Next thing you know, you've got X amount of months, and you set that out, and you set goals, and you take action. If you sit there and say, well, yeah, I'm going to run a marathon someday, let me figure out how to train for it. Planning for that for 6 months, then I'll start, no. It's about taking action immediately. When you have an idea, write it down, put something down, do something towards its attainment, and bam, this stuff starts to come true. Okay? I know I'm excited this morning. I woke up early again. And I shouldn't say it in a cursy way. It's been a pattern the past few weeks. I've been waking up earlier than I need to. And like yesterday, way earlier than I needed to. But the cool thing is if you wake up and you're ready to go, get out of bed. Do something productive. I was more productive between 5 and 6 a.m. tomorrow than probably than any other hour of the day. It was amazing. All right, so go back to yesterday and go back and see that short little video I did on the drive-in. The audio was bad, but I wanted to touch base with you. It's really not that bad. So thank you for looking past that to the message that I wanted to offer. But it's about taking action. It's not only about what you know, it's about doing. And I'd rather have you do, stumble, learn, and grow than sit there and philosophize for the next 10 years of your life and arrive no further ahead than you are now, probably behind where you are. Then 10 years from now, you could have a whole different picture, a whole different life, a whole different effect on everything by taking action now. You don't have to know it all. Get moving. Hey, by the way, Heals is coming out March 1st. It is official on XLR, the number 8life.com. That's XLR8life.com. Heals, the entire course, the full 30-day or 45-day, depending on how fast you take it. Course that balances out healthy eating, fitness, rest, stress reduction, hydration, all that, and how to put it together into a lifestyle that's, number one, effective. Because let me tell you something, with all the stuff going on in the world today, your health needs to be top-notch because your healthcare providers are not going to take care of you. They're afraid to see you. Things are being ignored, and on and on and on. You need to take responsibility for your health, but you want that energy and vibrance to do all the other stuff in life you're going to need to do and want to do. There's a lot of things you're going to need to do in the next couple of that you normally don't have to do for yourself, but you're going to have to start. But my point being, is get it to be a lifestyle, but it's got to be a lifestyle that's, number one, good for your body and good for your energy. Number two, sustainable. You can't sit there and meal plan 7 hours a week. Just do it. Just get something going and find what works for you. But number three, you got to enjoy it. Once you enjoy it, your workouts don't have to be, oh God, I got to go to the gym, or oh God, I got to go run or kayak or whatever. You find the things you love, so you're like, ooh, I can't wait to do this. You find the foods that you love that are really delicious but are also good for you. You can sit there and eat a sloppy, nasty pizza, or you can recreate it with a cauliflower bread and flatbread with all organic foods that taste just as good, if not better, and you're doing something good for your body as opposed to something bad for your body, and you're still enjoying it. That's my point. But that's Heals. Guys, jump in, check out the course. It's you are about it, but it covers it all. It gets it to be a lifestyle that you can love and enjoy. Okay, I don't get up each day and go, oh God, what's on my diet? I get up and go, oh yeah, I can't wait to eat my breakfast. Now, the celery juice and then the lemon juice 15 minutes later, or the lemon water, is a little more yummy than the celery juice. The celery juice doesn't excite me flavor-wise, but what it does for my body and the energy I end up with during the day, so I don't have that midday crash, for 15, 20 minutes to eat and get that down first and go, because I feel that much better. Not everything is going to be like, chicken wings for breakfast, okay? But you really should enjoy 90% of what you're doing. And Heals teaches that. So I'm super excited about getting the course out. On that note, a little personal share here. I did a little while. You know, I use some of those typical excuses, and you guys might do it too. You might, in your workplace, be going, well, you know, I'm not so-and-so who has this education or, you know, that much experience, so, you know, I can't, you know, I'm never going to progress like him, or I'm not the super salesperson, or I'm not the businessman. You know, I started with my courses and stuff going, I don't have a million followers like Tony Robbins or Dean or Grant Cardone. You know, is anybody really going to want to, and I almost talked myself out of releasing something that's going to be so good for so many people. And you know what it was? Instead of focusing on me and who I'm not, or what I don't have the resources, and I got resourceful, but I was like, let me focus on the people that need this. What a concept. Same thing through and all this, but I held off and I was not really doing it. I got more accomplished in the last month on creating that course than the last damn year. Wow. What does that teach you? I didn't say that to go, ooh, look what I did. What's in you that you're not doing yet? You know you should, but you're just not taking the action. All right, I'm going to leave you with that, because you know, I don't know your particular situation, but coaching can help that. If you need, reach out to me. Be blessed, live with faith, energy, passion, always live your dreams. This is Coach Lou with better audio this time, but